the things that are going to be happening moving forward in the next step. You see, what people have to realize when it comes to cryptocurrency is that we really are in the beginning of a paradigm shift that's taking place on all levels of society. I'm definitely really excited to see all the different things that have been, entering the public consciousness in regards to cryptocurrency, and seeing all the different developments that have been taking place. And I mean, as far as a technology like Ncash, I mean, there's how many different cryptocurrencies are really doing what's happening in regards to it really is leading edge content when you consider the fact that it is I mean, it definitely is a paradigm shift. And I'm definitely excited to see all the different things that are in the works for Ncash in regards to moving forward and seeing the potential that's in store for them. You look at the top cryptos on here, for example, and it's definitely something to be said when you take into consideration the where these technologies are currently positioned, and how they're actually going to be interacting in the real world once we start seeing cryptocurrency really coming into its own. But whenever I hear something like the Internet of Things and somebody talking about all the different variables that are really coming together in regards, I mean, people have to realize that the Internet of Things is going to be something that's in everybody's, I mean, it'll be something that people are interacting with on a day-to-day basis. So moving forward, it's definitely something to be said that a cryptocurrency like Ncash is taking up the initiative and really positioning themselves in a way that's going to allow us to really see all these different variables come together. So I'm definitely excited in regards to witnessing this paradigm shift that's currently happening in the world of cryptocurrency and so forth. And I was actually watching this really great YouTube video right here by Crypto you guys should definitely go and subscribe to this content creator, because this video is really informative when it comes to me developing my own understanding of Ncash, and really getting over the FUD that's been happening lately involving the technology. And because I think that Ncash is definitely going to be positioning themselves in a way that's going to be very beneficial in the future. You really take into consideration the fact that whenever anybody walks into a grocery store or any sort of retail outlet, there's going to be a lot. I mean, there's always, every single person has data on their phone when they walk into any sort of store or anything like that. So when it's something to be said that all that data is going. I mean, it definitely has potential to do a ton of stuff, not just sitting on people's phones and being. I mean, right now when you walk into Walmart and you see all the different I mean, you walk into Walmart and people are walking around and looking at shopping and so forth. And in the future, our basically our phones will be interacting with the Internet of Things in every single circumstance. So wherever you go, you can expect. And so basically, Ncash is doing a really good job of putting people in charge of that data and helping us move forward in a way that's going to really have a significant impact on the way that people perceive the value of their own interactions on the digital space. So it's definitely really exciting times to be involved with cryptocurrency, especially in Nucleus Vision. Now, I understand that Nucleus Vision's been hyped up a lot, and there's been a lot of people who talk about, because I mean, it's a lot to be said in regards to the what is it? What's been happening involving basically the fact that it's mostly people on like Facebook and Twitter and all these different social media websites talking about these different technologies and hyping up certain ones. And I think Nucleus Vision stands alone as being one of those that's actually it's also hyped up on social media, which is good for it to a certain degree. But you also have to take into consideration it has there's multiple variables that need to be taken into consideration, and I'm definitely really excited about seeing all the different the different things that are going to be happening in regards to Ncash as we continue to move forward and see all these different. It's important to look at the deals that are being made by these groups and so forth. And I think when it comes to Ncash, they really have a great team that's working behind them and helping to expand in regards to all the different variables that are. But yeah, if you guys aren't already following Ncash on Twitter, I'd recommend it. It's Twitter is a really great resource when it comes to gathering information regarding cryptocurrencies and learning about these. Staying up to date in regards to these different technologies and so forth. And so as far as that goes, definitely Twitter is definitely a valid resource in regard. Because not many people utilize that resource, but I think that even if you don't have a Twitter, I would definitely recommend that you make one. And I actually have my Twitter too. It's at CryptoTuber, and you guys can follow my Twitter if you want. And it's definitely awesome to build this community across different platforms. And I think that it's something to be said so that we can all sort of work together and share information in regards to these technologies and help to really build the community together. So yeah, the link to my Twitter is down in the description. But as far as when I look at the market cap currently, the global market cap on here. It is nice to see this spike right here. That's definitely a confidence renewal. As far as seeing the fact that how things have been going for the past couple of months. Definitely when you think back to where we were in January, and then you take into consideration how far we've come, and it has been a bumpy ride, but I suppose anybody who's been involved with cryptocurrency for any amount of time is definitely understands how these things work, and the fact that it definitely requires periods of healthy correction to happen before you definitely need to take into consideration that cryptocurrency is happening on a global. It's happening globally, so it's variables that happen in all sorts of parts of the world are all going to come together and have different impacts and so forth. So there's a lot to be said in regards to that and the developments that have been taking place regarding Ncash and so forth. But overall, I'm fairly optimistic on where Ncash could be going from here on out. It is definitely a great team that's been working on the technology and helping to move forward and advance the technology in a lot of different ways that really it's innovating on sort of a level that is unparalleled as far as which technologies are going to be essentially moving forward in the realm of the competitive space, because cryptocurrency definitely is a competitive area for people to so it definitely is something to be said when Ncash has managed to hold their own especially in the current circumstances and climate regarding cryptocurrency. So I'm definitely excited to see the potential that's in store for them. And yeah, overall, it is. I mean, looking at the different news regarding Nucleus Vision, I mean, it takes steps to become a global currency. I mean, these because when you think about the different rewards programs that already exist, and there's a significant flaw when it comes to the way that they operate. And if you take into consideration the fact that Ncash is trying to incorporate the fact that everybody in the world is going into retail stores and buying shit, there's always preference data and consumer data and all these different things, and especially in the current circumstances where people are thinking about their data more and so forth, especially with all the things that have been happening with like Facebook and so forth. It's definitely going to be in the public consciousness moving forward, and as cryptocurrency develops as a paradigm, we definitely have a lot of interesting things to expect in regards to moving forward and seeing the next steps that are going to be taking place in regards to cryptocurrency and so forth. So I'm definitely excited in a lot of different ways to see the different things that are going to be happening with Ncash. And I think as these technologies continue to be established in the public consciousness, more and more over time, we will see the dominance of Ncash, and which is why I've sort of come to the conclusion through my calculations that Ncash has the possibility of being in the top 5 when it comes to. I mean, not. I wouldn't say this isn't like anytime soon. This prediction, but I would definitely say that within a realm of possibility, there is potential there. But it is nice overall just to see all this green, just to see all these all this. All this green is really nice to see. What can I say? Regardless of who you are, I'm sure you're happy to see the fact that we're at the $377 billion mark. There's a lot to be said because we were definitely going through a period in crypto where we were seeing a lot of red, and we were seeing a lot of different declines and so forth. And so it is definitely interesting to see in that regard all the different developments that have really made themselves possible as the technologies have developed, and we've seen all these different things come into light. So yeah, I'm definitely moving forward, and I'm excited about seeing these developments and how things have been happening in such a short amount of time. We've seen such a lot of things really come together, and it's definitely interesting as far as paying attention to cryptocurrency and so forth. And definitely make sure you check out my Twitter and so forth. Make sure you got Nucleus Vision on Twitter. Anybody who's interested in the most leading cryptos and so forth, definitely Ncash is something that you'd want to look forward to paying attention to and so forth. So definitely a lot of interesting things happening across the board with all these different technologies and so forth. I mean, I'm definitely excited to see, of course, across the community and so forth, it is definitely interesting to see how these different developments have been implementing themselves and so forth. So I'm definitely excited to see all these different things that, as they've come together in such a short amount of time as well. I mean, Ncash is we really do have to understand that we're on the cut. We're definitely leading the herd when it comes to the way that people have managed to become getting used to cryptocurrencies. I mean, most people who've just heard about it they probably, it's like people, all they hear about is Bitcoin and so forth. So it is definitely something to be said. So all that being said, you guys, I'm definitely excited to see what's going to be happening moving forward. And also remember, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. I'm not your dad. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only, of course. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this content. And yeah, I mean, we've recently reached 17,666 subscribers on the channel, so it is definitely awesome to see how this community has been growing so quickly. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited about Ncash. I'm excited to see the developments that have been happening. But all that being said, you guys, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Oh yeah, also one more thing. I have included a link to this guy's video in the down in the description below, so that you guys can check out his content. And yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.